Here's 3 survival tips that could one day save your life. Starting a fire with almost no resources. All you need is batteries and foil, like a bubblegum wrapper. Just put the foil at the end of the batteries and it will start to heat up and burn. Then once you get a flame, you could use things like Doritos to have a mini fire. Sending an emergency signal. Now that you know how to make a fire, you need a lot of smoke. To produce that, you could use fresh pine and spruce leaves, wet leaves from any other trees, or rubber materials. Another way to send a signal is by using something reflective, like a mirror, CD, metal, and even jewelry. Emergency number. A really handy thing to know is that most cell phones will dial your local emergency number even if you have no SIM card and no service. 5 people who won the food lottery, part 11. This person found 2 fruit by the foots in one package. This person got a bun from McDonald's covered in seeds. This person got 9 pieces of cereal stuck together to make one big square. This person got an extra hot dog. And before I tell you the craziest one about this goldfish, I found this app that reads the lines on your palm and tells you what it means. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, this person got a goldfish 3 times the size. 1 in a million coincidences. These 2 trucks lined up and said Taylor Swift. This guy took off the mask and looks more like Mario than Mario does himself. The mountains on the truck lined up perfectly with the mountains in real life. These 2 ladies were dressed up almost the exact same and they're doing the same thing. This news reporter looks the exact same as the robber that's on the loose. Animals that are bigger than you thought. This is how big horses' lungs are. This is how big a giant leatherback sea turtle is compared to a human. Here's how big a giant African land snail is compared to a hand. Here's how big a blue whale's heart is compared to a human. Here's how big eagle's claws are compared to a hand. And here's how big a saltwater crocodile is. 3 hilarious times when live TV went wrong. This news channel was having an interview with someone who is working from home and his kids decided to join him. But when his wife comes in, it's even more funny.
For the wider region, I think one of your children has just walked in.
I would be surprised if they do. Pardon me. Pardon me. My apologies.
This TV reporter was trying to report beside the road and this kept happening.
Thousands have been built here over the...
During the evening news, this meteorologist got interrupted while showing the weather.
Well, hey there.
I don't know what's going on, but Zane doesn't know.
Take a look at what's going on right now. You want to point out the weather right now?
Yeah, there were phones everywhere and toots. It's crazy.
3 hilarious times when live TV went wrong. The worst school punishments. In 2011, a teacher from Albuquerque called the police because a student burped in class. The boy was then taken to juvenile prison for testing. Christopher Baker, who was a 9-year-old student from Kentucky, was put in a duffel bag for misbehaving in class. The school claimed that he was in the therapy bag for almost 20 minutes. Due to the mother's claims, the teachers involved were fired. At a school in New Jersey, a student accidentally spilled water on the lunchroom floor. When the assistant principal saw the incident, she forced 16 students to eat their lunch on the floor for 10 days. When the parents found out, they sued the school, winning $500,000. Finally, a 5-year-old from Pennsylvania received a 10-day suspension for wanting to shoot her Hello Kitty bubble gun at another student. She said, "I'll shoot you, you shoot me, and we'll play together." After the teacher heard the conversation, she sent her to the principal's office. And even though she just had a bubble gun, she was suspended for a terroristic threat. Here's what actually happens during sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is when you feel like you're awake, meaning you could see and hear, but your body's still asleep and unable to move. During this, you may be unable to move or speak for a couple seconds or even a few minutes. Some people also feel pressure on their chest, as if someone was sitting or standing on it. You might even be afraid because of a nightmare that you were having. This usually happens when you're first falling asleep or your body's getting ready to wake up. The most expensive things thrown away. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, gave an interviewer one of her books. He thought it would be a flop, so he threw it in the trash. Today, the first edition of the copy sells for over $80,000. In England, one of the machines used by the British government to decipher secret messages during World War II was thrown into a recycling plant. The machine is valued at $10,000 and is considered one of the most important pieces of history in the world. A woman in the US took her 1976 Apple I computer to a recycling center. Not too long later, the owners of the center auctioned the computer for $200,000. But they're now trying to find the former owner to share the money with. James Howell lost 7,500 bitcoins in 2013 after losing the hard drive that he stored them on. At the time, one coin was $130, but today each coin is $40,000, meaning he lost over $300 million. This delivery driver saw the words "help us" on a package and ended up saving a life.
You're not gonna need a part 2. A UPS driver in 2016 became a hero when he rescued a mother and son. After finding a message on a package he was delivering, a man named James was holding his wife and his 3-year-old son captive at their own house. He kept his son locked in a bedroom with no food and water for up to 18 hours a day. And he was also physically abusing his wife, so the wife came up with a plan to escape. So she wrote a message saying to call 911 on the package she sent out, hoping that someone would see it. A UPS driver saw the message and decided to call the police in case it wasn't a prank. And because of him, the SWAT team ended up going to the house and rescuing the mother and son. James was taken into custody and was charged with multiple counts of assault. Make sure to follow me to end part 2s.
Scientists may have found a way to live forever. There are companies that freeze you as soon as you die. This is called cryonics. They remove your blood and replace it with antifreeze so it keeps your cells alive. They then put your body in storage and freeze it at minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit. They hope that one day in the future when technology and medicine evolves, they could be brought back to life. Secret messages hidden in popular logos. In Baskin-Robbins, the B and the R also have the number 31 to represent how many flavors they have. In the Tour de France logo, the O, U, and the R are shaped as someone riding a bike. The bottom of the Levi's logo is the same shape as the pockets on their jeans. The coat of arms of Bern, which is where Toblerone chocolate is made, has a bear on it. And so does the logo. The tire company Continental has the C and the O shaped as a tire. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike. Just press this button on my profile if you want to try it too. The reason the Apple logo has a bite in it is so people wouldn't mistake it as a cherry. The dumbest lottery winners. After winning $1.3 million in the California lottery, Dennis Rossi filed for divorce from Thomas Rossi so she wouldn't have to share the money with him. Thomas decided to sue her for violating state law and he kept all the money. Michael Carroll won $14 million when he was just 19. After claiming he wouldn't spend the money on dumb things, he bought multiple luxury cars, mansions, and other expensive things. To this day, he lost all his money and works at a cookie factory. Jack Whitaker won $315 million in the US lottery. When he claimed it, he took it all in cash. However, thieves broke into his house and took millions of dollars. The deadliest foods people actually eat. Fugu is one of the deadliest dishes out there. In Japan, people usually eat it as a test of bravery, because the toxin in the pufferfish can leave you paralyzed for the rest of your life. Ballot is a food in some Southeast Asian countries, such as the Philippines or Vietnam. People literally eat the duck egg fetus. In Asia, some cultures eat raw monkey brains. Rather than killing you, it could lead you with a severe infection. The brain of an infected monkey can transmit a disease that is uncurable. Casu marzu is one of Italy's most traditional cheeses. Despite its ban for causing side effects, to make it, you set it outside uncovered and allow cheese flies to hatch eggs inside it. The eggs then hatch into maggots which eat away at your stomach. 5 photos you'll have to look at twice. At first it looks like there's a giant pigeon, but it's actually just sitting on a ledge and the person's walking in the distance. At first it looks like there's a human dog, but the dog's actually sitting beside its owner. At first this looks like some weird looking cat, but it's actually just 2 cats laying in the exact same position on each side. At first it looks like this fish has an arm, but the fish just got too close to the camera. And finally, it looks like this person has a small head, but it's just the head from the person in front of them.